Welcome to the Hoffman Development Safety Orientation. We are excited to have you on board with us. Today, we are going to take you through the safety precautions and standards that are required. Hoffman Development values a safe work environment, so we follow the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, or better known as OSHA's, recommendations for creating a safe work environment. Your safety is our priority. Please listen and follow along with this orientation as we go through all of the safety information. Things you will learn in this presentation are in regard to employee safety rules regarding unsafe conditions, lifting, first aid, etc. Also about hazard communication and right-to-know compliance, including safety data sheets, container labeling, and chemical inventory listing. You will also learn our safety areas and where you can go with questions. As a relatively outdoor business, we are always preparing for the weather, no matter what conditions it brings. Unsafe conditions can be brought upon by ice, snow, and heat. To prepare for the cold or the heat, please dress accordingly. It is important to keep a clean work environment. It can help prevent work-related injuries. You may encounter a time when you may need to lift a large, heavy item. Please be sure that when lifting items, to use proper technique. The proper technique is to lift with your knees bent and your back postured up, with the object being held close to the body to avoid any strains or serious damage to the back and abdomen, as well as making sure that when you are working that your shoes are slip resistant to keep you from slipping in wet conditions. To prevent these injuries, make sure that your work area is clean. You remain alert, and when dealing with hazardous materials, you wear proper personal protective equipment. To make you aware, we do not tolerate any horseplay or violence of any kind in the workplace. Any type of fighting can be considered grounds for termination. If any employee is concerned over their safety, health, or general well-being, please notify an immediate manager, district manager, the Director of Human Resources, Mary Ellen Olnick, or any member of management. Please make sure on your tour of the premises that you are aware of all first aid kits on site, as well as the emergency eye wash stations, fire extinguishers, and alarms. Please also make sure that you are aware of emergency procedures in the event that any emergency occurs. It is also important to know where the personal protective equipment, or PPEs, are located. Personal protection equipment is provided at every location for your safety. Please talk to your managers on when and where to wear PPEs. Any specific safety information or procedures will be located on the SharePoint, which can be accessed on any company computer. Safety data sheets are any and all information about the chemicals you will possibly encounter on the job. They are electronically posted on SharePoint. These need to be accessed if there is contact with a chemical or any chemical spills. Please make yourself aware that when you see any of these labels in any of our stores, that there's a risk of danger, that you should not touch anything labeled with these items unless properly trained to do so. Please remember when you are dealing with anything that has these hazardous images labeled on them to wear PPEs. While you are on your tour of the store, again, please be made aware of all the designated safety areas and building exits. If you need to be reminded, please ask a supervisor or manager immediately. If you experience any accidents, injuries, or any type of problem, please notify a manager or human resources immediately. To file a report, use the Employee Accident and Injury Report. This can be found on SharePoint under HR Forms. If you have any questions or need to report an incident, please speak to a supervisor/manager or human resources. We learned a lot about employee safety rules in regards to horseplay, workplace violence, first aid, and more. We also learned about employees' right to know, safety data sheets, container labeling, and chemical inventory. We went through where the designated safety areas look like and where to go with problems in the workplace. Now it's time for a safety quiz. Which of the following are situations in which you would need to consult the STS? The answers are if you come in contact with a chemical, if there is a chemical spill, and what PPEs are necessary when handling chemicals. Next question. What is SharePoint, and what important information is found on SharePoint? SharePoint is Hoffman's informational employee page that is easily accessible on every company computer. All of the above information is found on SharePoint. Question 3. What does this pictogram mean? The answer is corrosive materials. Question 4. What of the following types of PPEs is provided for you by the company? The answers are bump caps, hearing protections, safety glasses, and gloves. Shoes with significant tread are not provided, but are required. Last question. The answer is all of the above. As an acting supervisor, manager, and director of human resources, Mary Ellen Olnick can help you with your problem. Thank you for following along through this presentation, and welcome to the Hoffman Car Wash and Jiffy Lube family.